teni namba thamchilla shudro de la kan samdjigin.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Teni ngatso shudro yang pardo korka teni chachit teni mentani fiakins.
So we are going to continue now in our afternoon session with our teaching on the bardos.
Teni khatsang ngatso teni shir teni mushibi jisa kiwa shima yotsir teni tsamala ngoto shiparis.
So yesterday morning we talked about how after one dies, what happens, past and future lives, reincarnation.
Teni khatsang shiro da tanang ngatso tesola teni ngatso teni mushitsari jine teni yona kandi yore to. Teni kandinda poyong gore zini tati pardo korti so kalite jimundao teni tsamala ngoto che yore.
And then yesterday afternoon and this morning we talked in more detail about what actually happens after one dies, what takes place in the bardo states.
Teni terang shidunda boyina teni ngatso tari pardo chuchu namji nane teni thama te rendus.
And so our teaching this afternoon is our final one on the bardos.
Teni ti nala teni ta ngatso mushibi kaps teni ngatso mujalla teni kandi rokpa chego. Teni soso rang go dabdu kandi chego. Teni ti korla shakayin.
And what we're going to be talking about is how to go about helping other people when they are dying, and also how to prepare for one's own death.
Teni nyamasila ngatso sama teni shigres teni ngatso sama hakore.
One day all of us will die. That is something that we are all very clear about.
Teni mi nala teni mi kashi teni shiwala teni pe teni changken teni those.
Some people are extremely afraid of death.
Te koranto pena shiwazia teni mang teni kanang ne teni lamna te jenang da teni jeng those.
Some people, even just the word death, just even uttering this word, brings a sense of fear to them.
Yana teni shiwada tisukola kaja teni fiana teni jikte drama shi bandao teni jine namtok teni langandos.
Namdok kandashik langandu.
Drama shi bandao teni shekandos.
Oh, and then others who are quite superstitious about death.
Rete ina tanga tsote namtok langmalang yo mari drama shi bare samasam yo mari nimasu tende yongdos.
But regardless of what, we don't need to be scared or superstitious. Regardless, death one day will come.
Teni yang makashi teni shiwi kapsi yang teni pe dugbo shi ni teni shindo ondu ze sem gatola. Makashi shiwi ne kabna teni sem gatola pe kongchoda teni yerdangda teni jene teni shiganduz.
Some people, when they die, do so with many negative emotions in their minds, such as anger and aversion.
Te kashi korang la teni kimsanga teni yakboshi masong samban rawo teni rawo da. Yana kashi korang la shusoko teni korang la yakboshi masong samban rawo teni sem gatola teni sem gatola ta namto dugbu kene teni shinken teni mambonduz.
And there are many people, when they die, have negative thoughts due to feelings that they haven't made right with their families or otherwise in their various social relations.
Teni yang kashi teni njoba mambo kene korang sem ganala njoba mambo kene teni korang ga matsindi nala teni yaboshung masong sam teni mi janla nopa yana ta shawa dugjak teni mambo chesong. And then
there are also many people who die with great regrets in their minds, regrets about things that they didn't do right in their life, maybe ways that they harmed other people or bad things that they did, and on this basis have many regrets in their hearts.
나옵니다. 디솔라더니 셈 창에 되니 든지거더니 할레바거더니 셈 파르 잘 맞네. 든지 돈이 신근 든지 녹스.
The Dermitumnesina?
아.
Good. Oh, and then others who die with great attachment due to their various family members.
든지 잠마다 망보스 나만나서 녹스.
And so there are many different mind states like this that people die in.
드링 아수수수 드링 니마스글라더니 쳐와져야지 용바데더니 탁추지 디인디 등 아수수수 간디로 잡죽지나 가사레 딜라 삼로 따르타니 땅고 누즈.
So it's one thing is certain, and that is that we will die one day. So as to how we should go about preparing for our deaths is something that we need to start thinking about today.
드링 아수 그시 카퍼거더니 총바 총혼 드니 더 jobs 코랑 거더니 남터가 나라 드니 로직하시 코랑 거다 나니 드니 만큼가 나라 요 픽업스 가져가시 시엔두스 드 코랑 로직 코랑 남터가 나라
Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, in his biography gives some accounts of what took place when he became sick and entered hospital.
드니 코랑 거 제나 드니 쳐와제야티 용이 값스 드니 쳐와지기 디 모동라 드니 직땡 거드니 다 강다 강이나 베나 드니 코랑 거톱 옛날에 골모 옛날에 강이나들이 사만 직땡의 파트니 못 매반라고 야즈나 회스 못 매바 좋아 매바 딘딘라보 착한 득제네 코랑 거 남도 와스.
And what he said was that at the when death dawned, then all of the various worldly things in his life, such as his money, his wealth, his position, etc., took on a grey hue.
대 코랑 그때 운이 레스 대 가서 다 시위 값스 되네 가서 남긴 가서 되네 백가르침보레 대 나랑라 고고요 삼바도 되네 mambo 되네 시와 용의 값스 되네 상마 돈다 매바당 되네 상마 형보 매바당 되네 착한 데우스.
And this really is the way that it is. When death approaches, then many things that we regarded as extremely important in our lives, as we approach death, come to the point of death, become meaningless and purposeless. In the course of our lives, we work very hard in respect of these things. And for these things, when we're young, we study very hard and take on a lot of pressure. Oh, that's it. And the reason that we do all of this is so that we will have good opportunities, or that we will have choices, good choices available to us in this life. And then after we finish with our studies, we begin with our jobs and work very hard and have all manner of difficulties.
사고라 니토라 되니 늑기 잡드 늑치가 잡드 늑야가 잡드 그래서 늑야 잡드 짱짱 그래서 상마.
So all of these things, all of these exertions with regards to study and work are all for the purpose of existing in this world, or preparing for our existence in this world.
되니 가서 로야가 잡드 된 가서 지장 제가 말해서
But we make no preparation whatsoever for leaving this world. All of the study and work that we do is only in preparation of existing and living in this world.
Tini diche chipo mato tini nga su rowi kapsa nga karin ro goyona nga kandiche goyona te nga su samlo tanga yo mare.
So only preparing for our existence in this world, we don't think about what happens when we are going to leave it, what we should do, and so on.
Inna nga su nyama chila tabdikche mena yon ro goyondus.
But regardless of whether or not we do any preparation, one day we will have to leave this world.
Tani ti kapsa tini nga su kandiche gore te samlo tanga goyondus.
And as to what we need to do at this point, this is something we need to really think about.
Tani kashiga samna tantro go mare ta mash savinir ko tani samam jig jokson te chi yo mare tindi samgo rete tana mare se nga su karsang terang sheddewa tirete maing tacho bares.
Of course, some people say, well, when I'm gone, so what is there that needs to be done? But as we saw yesterday and today, that is not the case. We can be certain that that isn't the case.
Tendi jowi kapsatini mu khashizatini yon jowi kapsatini ngone tane koso gabu trubu shini tindi donken dos shemalan jowi kaps shiwi kaps.
There are some people who, in their dying, do so in a very happy and joyous way.
Teni ngaso bogatini nyamlin che denkan katini lama gargi o tsogo la ten ngone chani teni ngaso mukun thongda ya teni mi mangbo teni nduse.
And among old Tibetan practitioners, there are many who pass in this way. Practitioners that we can see with our own very eyes who die in this way.
Teni koso korang ta titsun din nala ngarang ro yense korang nam ro titsu korang saros tacho ba sing dose korang o tan di niman di nimbar teni ngan ro yense teni zeg dos.
And they're very clear about the exact time that they are going to die, when they're going to die. They say on this day I'm going to die. They're certain about this.
Teni ngarang ro wi kaps 다 교수 던진들이 제거를 던진들이 제거를 해서 걸어 참아 걸어 소소랑 그 고득제네 되니 미잠바도 소상말라 심소 잡다 결혼 듣고 말에 좀 남이 돼서라데 결혼 듣고 말에 semba 딱고 말에 나랑 빼 되니 데모다 께보 던지지는 저래서 던지 랍근도스.
And knowing this, they begin making arrangements in advance. They prepare what needs to be done, and they start to go about comforting their family members and others in their midst, telling them they don't need to be sad, they don't need to fear, that they're going to die in a happy and peaceful way.
Then koso la tana koranson chewazeya de kandan tongoduzina ta koronga la parjiblan roa ta serjim deni parjiblan roa rawo denji nawa ma toba kosola tele chiji mendus te koranso pele lamu zendus.
Just jumping.
La serjim ni la parjiblan roa ta.
Yeah. Okay. So they see the event of death as nothing more than passing over a mountain pass, so no big deal.
Then nyamlim ba yakshuti sutin dodus.
This is the way that the best practitioners die.
Then tin nala nyamlim ba tin pe yakshuta lama da tawa tin maimba. Masu murcha nala tin yang namjen ko su chu yakbo che denken samba zambo jenken. So yang tin ko sun rowi kaps tin yakbo shini korang sa tapa ngani o tin sondipchi gabo shini tin rondus.
And aside from really good practitioners of this nature, just ordinary lay Buddhists who with altruistic minds and great faith die making prayers and aspirations and pass in a very happy way.
Tini shusok nyangba kapsa yami nala tini ta gargiti so tini sandi ohomen donken o dewa chala tini sorandip denken tso nala tini ringni chimbo menken tini ringni chimbo mena da kono sem tapa yakbo yonke tso yang tini gargiti so nala yang tini yang pe tini yakbo donken mambun dugzi ti tatso tarta zimti yore tasa tini dugzi.
And in the old society, there are many examples of elderly Chinese practitioners who passed away reciting the Amitabha Buddha's name. These were ordinary people of no great education but immense faith and devotion, and they passed in a very good way. There are many records of people who died in this way.
Tenita ngaco muscula samlo tana, teni ngaco jini kiwari, teni nini ngaco tartagan tsuwari, simni ngaco chiwari, te simbo de ngaco mutsega nangla pe kar chimbo dondak simres.
If we think of a human life, birth, our current life, and our death are the three most important events.
Tenita ngaco tari ke charsong, ta ngaco yangkir nga kega inzena, kewa shima mahto tari, yangkir keji yomari ke char songus.
Of course, at this moment now, we are already born. Aside from our rebirth in the next life, we're not going to be born again in this life.
Tenin chewa ta ngaco sarka yunggo goren, chowa tarta ngaco soso teni sala teni tarta yojin bandares. Chewa ngaco maung pala yunggo gores chewa. Teni kewa teni chowa tarta ngaco tarta yojin bandares ngaco soso.
Our deaths await us in the future, and we are currently in the midst of our lives, or life.
Res. Oh, teni teni ngaco teni kewala ta ngaco yangkir teni ke gozena jepchu jap gozena te jap chichi yomar ngaco ke charwa res.
So in terms of our birth, this is not something that we can change and seek to be born again. We're already born into this life.
Tenin chawate teni ngaco ta kandi goni che ngaco damga condition te ngaco rawang yores.
But in respect of death, how we die, this is something, a choice that we have freedom in respect of.
Te soso ranga lapang nala yores.
This freedom is in our own hands.
Tendi indi tini titola ngaco te samlo tang tendi jea te gogundu ma tokpa da ngaco chewa jea te sawa ni samlo ma tang te sawa ni ngaco tondak chila masini para yini jau jana. Tani te kapse teni pe kapondus.
So it's we need to really think about this, give it some good thought. If we think it's not important, we don't need to care about it and cast aside, then when death comes, it will be pretty difficult.
Teni ngaco nang chugo teni zena, pena teni ta kyorang china garin chigente, kyorang ga damga shi chokore, kyorang ga lakpa nala yore, zegendus.
So as Buddhists, we say that as for death, this is something that you have a choice over, and that choice is in your own hands.
Teni kiwa shimala, kyorang kiego yang kir kiego re, te kiwi kapsa kyorang kandi kiego yen, teni damga kandi kiego yen, teni deyang susorang ga lakpa nala yore, susorang ga kandi china chokore, susorangwang re zini te zeo yores.
And as for the next life, how you're born in the next life, this too is something that you have choice and freedom over.
Teni tendi ending wan ngaco soso teni tezi samlo tangne tezi mbapa tendi jena kap kapsa ngaco mbapa chongshong shina telang rewe chimbo topkunduz.
So if everybody gives some thought to this and some amount of diligence or industriousness, sometimes even a small amount of diligence can yield a very big result.
Teni ngaco trabdik machina, teni ngaco soso shiwi kapsa teni ta kandi jego jiji hamago teni semnang la jignang jikchak mangbo yung, teni semla jerdang yung, teni semla teni jenchak jamanda mangbo yung ne teni 탑교보즈 그 돈이 로고래 딘디진도래 딘디소나 딘니케와 시말랑 약본로 탑고 말에 득보용 그래서.
If, on the other hand, we don't give it any thought, and when the time of death comes, we don't know how to approach it, we pass in a state of fear or aversion or with many attachments, then we will pass in a unfavorable or quite terrible way and will not have a positive rebirth.
Teni pena ngaso 보고 총총 깨나 망칸가 날란조나 teni mamba가 콜라 teni rokpa chegre teni kewi kapsa teni mamba가 rokpa chegndus.
When a young child is born, a doctor assists in the process.
Tani nga tsu nat nawi kapsa tani yang mankanga nalandro na tani mamba urukpa chigandus.
And just the same, when we're sick, we go to the hospital and the doctor helps us.
Tani nga tsu shiwi kapsa tani nga tsu sirukpa chigawres.
But when we die, who should help us?
Tani nga tsu sirukpa chigawres.
Who is capable of helping us?
Tani kandi rukpa chigawres.
And how should they go about helping us?
Pena nga tsu tani nyenkola ta nga tsu suso nangmi ina re nga tsu tani chokbo ina tani chi tani shiwa o tani re suna tani shiwi kapsa tani nga tsu tani tsama ga tani rukpa chitabna nga tsu shi tsama ga chi samgres. Sa ina nga tsu rukpa kandi chigawo tani nga ha tsu tsama ha gawo ma re.
So in our own immediate lives, our family members and our friends, if they were to die, of course all of us would want to help them. However, actually how to go about helping them is something that we don't understand.
Tani nga tsu tasta tangrib kummela samlo tamba ina kiwi nekabna tani pe mangkang na landro tani gormo mambon rosong jab tani pogo chongshong tsogo ton la tani gormo mambon rosong jamne pe tra jebo she kendo kiwi kapsa.
In contemporary society, when a small baby is born, a great deal of money and expenses are outlaid by parents on the whole procedure of the baby's birth.
But
during death, we really don't look after this process very well. It's a very deplorable situation. And many people on this account die in hospitals. And as soon as a person dies in hospital, their body is immediately taken to the mortuary. And then from there, they're immediately taken to the, what's the name of the room? The mortuary, where they're kept in the very cold conditions, freezer. Morgue. So within a few hours, they're placed in the morgue. And they're not able to be kept there for that long, so very quickly they are taken to be cremated. And when someone dies, they're not allowed to bring the corpse into the family home. This is the situation in cities in Asia, so it's all the more likely to be the case here. And for someone who is dying of a particularly serious illness in their homes, they're hooked up to all kinds of machines, and they die with the sounds of all of these machines whirring around them. Respiration machine. So these respiration machines make lots of noises, and it's in the midst of these noises that the person passes away. And family members aren't allowed to go by the side of the person. They're surrounded by machines and machines only. Tawa chakandus and a shiraba. Oh yeah. And so within a few hours the person is turned into ashes. So in these kinds of situations, there's no one to take care of the person, there's no one to assist them.
당보 용이 값을 보고 총총이 비 값을 당가서 공라 샤반다오지 망카가 나라 단잠담만 보지 짜지보지니 할리바 가보토 보지니 용니 더니 로이 값을 더니 딘디 탑 할리바 탑 교보들이 그 돈이 좋은도스.
So in this way, contemporary people, when they are born as babies into a hospital, it's a very happy occasion, very lavish occasion with much expense and expenditure. But when they pass away, they do so in an extremely impoverished way. So at this time, what should we really be doing? If we encounter someone in this situation, what should we do to help them? So I'd like to give some simple instructions on what we should do in this situation today.
말랑 신도사래 다 드니 여보드니 다 적들사 말이 삼반다고 든지드니 하고 이 값스.
So if first of all oneself, if one arrives at a point of one's own death where one is sick and knows this is an illness they're not going to be able to recover from, we need to start to do preparations.
And
there are 5 points of preparation that we should observe. So these are our 5 preparations that we need to make.
This sama tini de korang gandi jegona or tini pari meba tini to jego nduzi pena yana korang kang gaboyo na pena yana mekyobo la jinna yana mankang la jinna yana ngaso te maimbi gile tini lega gare jevna ta korang dor kana yana te par sama meba jego nduzi.
So the first thing is for a person to give away their things, including perhaps their house, their possessions, the money that they have in the bank, to get rid of these things, to give them away to whoever they might like to, whether it's to the poor or to a hospital or some kind of other charitable organization.
Yana kono go boda bomola tini jinna yangja gangstar tini tsama susu rang simlang la tini chaksa jensa tini mepashi ni tso tsama par tini korang perna chushi samnanja tayana tini korang boda bomotsula jin samnanja a gangstar tini tsama yakpa gosha jab go nduse.
Or they could give them to their sons and daughters. In any case, the purpose is for them to diminish their attachment to these kinds of things, whether they give them to a religious group or their own children. The point is to give these things away.
Tini korang drogi kapsa tini korang go ngubo kangdang kangla yana tini jenchak chakpa tsawane mepa jenchak mepa tini taw shego ndu te pekar chimbo chigres.
So passing away in a state where one has let go of all one's attachment and clinging is extremely important.
Tini tela rongshik shaki ores tini sanji chomdende sanji shakcha tapa tini jikpi kapsa tini gerlong tini chingduz gerlong.
So there's a story that illustrates this. In the times when the Buddha lived, there was a monk.
Tini gerlong tela tini tikap ke tini gerlong darab to shonga tola nguni tane shana tsama tini changbo da ore chalak mangbo yo marese kosola.
And speaking truthfully, monks at this time were really very honest people. They didn't own hardly any possessions at all.
Taftadan jang maris.
Not like monks in today's age.
Yeah. Tini korang tikapse tini korang la tini zama zasa tini te gerlong gozina ngasul hongzit zegla. Oh tini te yakbun rawos ndugse korang la.
But this monk in question had an alms bowl, a rather nice alms bowl.
Tini tikapse tini zama zosa gal hongzit te gerlong ko so rang la ba zo go yores.
And back in these times, monks' alms bowls were something they had to make themselves.
Tini ti tangbo la ba zo ya tang ti ni shlo la na po zi na bo jab go re shlo la to so sang ma te ti kap se tini ti kap la sang lo ta na te le ka nyokta yores nyokta chan le te le ka kabu na yores.
这个不是呢？
le ka kamu 复杂的工程
and the way these bowls were made, their ornamentation on the outside, and the overall way they were made was rather complex, rather elaborate.
teni koso te kar chimbo gres.
So he considered this bowl as rather important.
Da tenjin da ma tong ba teni jin denjin da bonda da denjin da bonda to so ko yo mares ti kapso.
Back in those times, there was nothing like this iPad or this watch, nothing like this.
Yeah,
however, they did regard the bowls that they ate from as very important. And when this monk died, his alms bowl was placed beside him. And his mind generated, or mind aroused a feeling of clinging to his alms bowl. So, on account of this, India being a very hot place and everything, he passed away with this sense of attachment in mind and was reborn as a snake inside the alms bowl.
Oh, yeah. That ending also, Muputi Korsawa Chi Machi or Marangato Sim Gunani, de Latini Chamba, Jimba Tindi Sardi, the Niti Korala no packing those hiccups.
So it's not a question of the objective value of the object in question, it's the degree of attachment or clinging that someone has to it. And if this attachment and clinging has potential to harm the person.
Tindi indi ta ngarang su sama tini ta ngarang shisare samandra takchot sarvi jini tini soso la ngopo kare yona te par gosha jabne ta soso bola jinna pomola jinna gomba la jinna yana nga su tini mankang la jinna tepsa shina kang shina ta soso sem ko nala chakpa tsamane mepa tepshiya te pe kar chimbore reze.
So all of us, when we recognize that we are going to die, when we're sure about this, then it is important that we move to give away our objects, to distribute them, whether it's among our children or to the monastery or hospital or some organization, so that we can pass away in a state of total lack of attachment and clinging to these things.
Tini karte nga tsu mi zhan la tini rokpa chi na mo zhan tini shivi kapsi tini rokpa chi wa inna tini korang ka pena kangpa chi ka na la tini korang shina ti loksa tini korang ka mukun thong desa tisu korte la namgin korang gabu shi sa tini jalak kati kangri na tisu chik jang zhan yang ka ma resi.
And if we are assisting someone else in their dying process, then if in their house or in the immediate space around where they are, we should not allow there to be placed any of the normal objects that they like very much.
Tini korang ka tini poda pomo inna tini korang ka zaruk inna tisu tini chilan dugni tini ngajen rawo kajeb jen rawo tisu tsawani tini nyang ka ma resi. Mangni mboni tini mbopa shiyandao mangla mbopa rao tini shini da kashiz moshi kas parantamni tini tini mambu chingdo tini tsawani nyang marez.
And similarly, the children of the dying person or their spouse who crying and calling out their name and maybe even reaching to hug them, this too should not happen.
Tini ngatsu musumbu imbi kapsu teni nga zu gijib yakbo jia ta, tartuk yakbo jia ta, teni te pe karchimbore, 로위 값스 시위 값스 어더니 거랑 약보 진이 되니 로지고래 마토다 가서 sombo 임비 값스 가서 되니 약보 뭐지 되니 시위 값스 되니 딘치라손이 뭐 어렵 되니 시나 거랑 라페 노바 게도스
When the person is alive, we should respect them well, we should cherish them. But when they are leaving, we should let them pass in a peaceful way. If we don't treat them well during their lives, but at the time of their deaths cry and make a lot of noise, then this is very harmful to them. So of the 5 points of preparation, this is the first one.
Teni tonda nipate teni soso teni molum yakbo japgongdo si teni ta shiwi kaps teni mashiwi gongdo soso semganala teni tarung semganala samna teni yakbo sam thapi kaps o teni molum yakbo japgores.
And the second point of preparation is that we should make sincere prayers or aspirations at the point as we die or before we die. While our mind is still clear and capable of thinking, we should make sound and sincere aspirations and prayers.
Teni ti kaps ta namgini na nga so teni ta nga so dugpa mergiwa sarjana ta ngi dugpa mambo sarja ngarang ndrig masong samni dugpa lan jopa mambo she gorin jopa she na nga so dugpa te takrezi namgini na nga so teni res.
Ordinarily, during our lives, when we think about the negative things that we've done and the negative karma that we have accumulated, we give rise to regret. And indeed, regretting and confessing the negative things we've done has the effect of purifying our negative karma.
Teni shiwi kapsa teni ta ngarang dugpa mambo she ja ta ngarang ngansong lan jore ta nga dugbo yongore samni
However, at the time we are dying, we should not think about the bad things that we've done, the negative karma we've accumulated, the bad direction we're going, the fact we might be going to hell, the hell realms. So basically, at the time of death, we shouldn't give rise to regret. Because when we do give rise to regret, our minds become very fearful.
Tani ti kapsa kandi sam ko gorzina ta kyong ko mare ta ngarang ka dugpa yang tini she ore ta ngarang gewa yang mambo she ore ta kyong ko mare tani tari nga kewa ngama ta ngama namse nga korma mambo she ore ta ina ti kapsa te ngarang lam dam yakbo mendusi tari na tini ngarang shena ta kyong ko mendu ngarang la nyamlin yakbondu ngarang dam yakbondu tani dam ngdala tini nge yakbo shiwi nerkapsa tini nge nyamlin yakbo che go sambi tini yara sim poba che go res ti kapsa sim jimni ta ngarang dugbo che ja ta nga dugbo yongore zawane samnyang gamari ti kapsa samnyang gamares.
At this point, at the point of death, however, when we're dying, we shouldn't think or dwell on the negative things we've done. We should think it's okay, I may have done some bad things, but I've also done a great deal of virtuous things. We should think that, in fact, we have died many times in the past. And on these occasions, we've made poor choices. But this time, we have practiced well. We'll make a good choice this time throughout our dying practice, and in so doing die with a sense of confidence. This is really important, and important that we shouldn't think that give rise to regret and reflect on the negative things we've done.
Tani molum kari jab gorzila molum ta nga tari shiwi jine tani kira shimala tani nga yangkir tani takba chimbo go chu yang takba tani ngarang chadje tani gewishin takba chimbo tani lama gewishin yakbo tang tani ngarang chadje tani ngarang ge gella tani shamdang nyarji shanjib ko sim yakbo tani ki go samni titola molum jab gos.
As to the prayer that we should make at this time, we should pray that in our next lives we will have the fortune to encounter the Mahayana Buddhist teachings again and a qualified spiritual mentor and Lama, and that in our mind streams we will give rise to loving kindness and bodhicitta.
Teni kiwa shimala, teni ngarang simjin mambo la teni robachi thomken, simjin mambo la teni pan teni thongken, o teni shik teni kiwa teni lengo nyam samni teni sim ko tani te molum te yakpo jab go res.
And we should pray from the absolute depths of our heart that in our next lives we will take the form of someone who is able to be of great help and benefit of other beings. This is how we should pray.
Teni te kati ngaso rangi na teni rang teni molum jab go re. Teni mi jambala ngaso robachi na te korang par te lab go re. Ta kyo teni molum yakpo jab sho zene teni lab go res. Kobda yakpo chak go res.
So if it is ourselves who are dying, we should pray in this way. If it is someone else who is dying, then we should tell them to pray in this way and communicate this to them clearly. So this is the second point of preparation. So now we're up to the third point of preparation.
Teni tanga shivi kaps pardo shariung gore. Teni pardo shariung teni ti kaps teni ngaranga ngaso terang da kasang to so mambo shede teni pardo tangbo pardo nipa pardo samba shesonga o ti kabla yo pitini nyamlin te songi ngone tane yakbo zongi chigwa samni teni samgo gores.
This third point of preparation is to recognize that we are dying and that the bardo states will manifest in this process. We've spoken over the past couple of days about these states, particularly the three bardos. So at this point, what is important to do is to resolve very firmly to practice well in the midst of the bardo states.
Pardo tini nyamlin te so yakpo chine tani zoba chimbo yana shakja chimbo tini ton tok o ti ton de yakpo hago yakpo tok tini ti top ki tini ngarang ga tini dangzin zimba te so tamchupo mar mebashi tini nyomo pa te so tamchupo mebachi ya o tindiz nge shego samne tini te sam go res.
And we should think, we should resolve to practice well in the bardo states and to, regardless of whether our practice is Dzogchen practice or Mahamudra practice, that in the bardo states that we will obtain recognition of obtain di chizi di yangya sunai chokan bula di zopa chemba na mahamudra ko chizi ki don to korba
zopa chemba ko don to ne teni korang ka nyomon bata dangzenda to susama meba che go samne teni sam go res
lase that we should realize the view of Dzogchen and Mahamudra practice in the bardo states, and in so doing eliminate all of our afflictions and ego clinging.
Teni ngaton zambolong ka tola nimaschi kanala teni minye chusu jongari shego yores takbar terang yores sanye nanin jawun jandare takbar teres chusu jonga shivuwan nye chusu jonga shego yores nima takbar shego yores
chusu rela
nimari
zambolong la
oya
chijonga
chijonga.
Every day in the world, 150,000 people die. This is an average figure. But the majority of these people who die have no acquaintance with how to practice in the bardo state, how to go about dying. But regardless of whether a person has experience in practice or who is aware of choices that they can make, everyone just the same dies.
Tene ngarang tedang jagam dua, tene ngan pardo nyamlin dua, tene ngarang lama la soran demna chokon dua, tene ngarang ke tene nyamlin te susama ngason nyamlin shig dua, tene ngarang tene jambachik dang jagam du, tene ngachak go mares samne tene sam go res.
But at this point, it's important to think that I'm not like other people. I have practiced well. I know how to practice. I can supplicate and pray to my Lama. I'm different from people who don't know these things, and so therefore it's not necessary for me to have fear throughout this state. So if it's oneself who is dying, then it's necessary to think like this.
Teni mi jala ngaso kati rokpa chi anda tenti na teni jambati la partindi kodatra ni chiri korang la saru kodatra gores.
And if it is someone else who we are assisting, then we need to communicate with them about this very clearly on each point.
Teni tenji si yung kapsa teni ngaso molum yakpo jaw teni ota nga parto kapsa ngai zoba chimboda teso hago tontok teni jego samba teni ke sempoba ki yongdi teni ngaso choala teni jiktak da teso sama mar menro res.
So if we are able to make a prayer like this at the time of death, that in the bardo state through our practice of Mahamudra or Dzogchen, we will realize their view, then this has the capacity to make all of our fear and terror dissipate. So this is the third point.
Teni tonda jipati kare rezena teni ti kapsa teni ta pardo kapsa teni pardo tangbo ta nipa ta teso kabla ta ngaso kharsong sheda ya ti kapsa nga yungre yungna ti kapsa ni yenda manda ti pardo teso ngarang ko ngoshi go samne tesam go res ni yenda manda ti kapsa ta nga shiwi kapsa karma nyeshin rawo teni zga nangla teni oxar ta teso yungre teni ngaso terang sheda ya teni di pardo kap tini perna tini lag tini kerkon rada yana tini jada tesu ramra mambo takare ti kaps tini ngi yinda manda ti ngarang rang sim imba tingi hako go samni tesam gores.
And the fourth point is to resolve in one's own mind that when the first two bardo states that we talked about over the last couple of days arrive, that is when the lights appear, when the deity mandalas manifest, when the sounds appear, that we should recognize these appearances as our own mind. This is very important that we make this resolve.
Teni tindis mashi gongda tindi samne teni tintoli tindi Jesus sona teni pardo sharion ikaps teni koranga lamsang teni yakbo ngoshi hakondores.
If one prays or makes a strong resolve like this before death, then after they die and the bardo states manifest, then they will be able to immediately recognize them as their own mind.
Teni tenga so mi teni semla teni nipaz korang teni nipaz yores pena maso samo mar nyewi nekaps teni terang ngarang ka mulum teni tar miyong ikaps ngarang yinda menta ta ngarang ka mulum mendu samba de ngoshi pa she go samni teni chini ni jangna teni mulum miyong ikaps korang ka o ngi mulum mendu samni hakon rores.
This is a power or a capacity that the mind has. It's just like at night before we go to sleep, before we fall asleep. If we resolve to ourselves that tonight when I enter my dream, I really want to realize or be aware of, recognize that I am dreaming, then when we actually do begin to dream, it's possible that we will be able to recognize that we are in fact dreaming.
Teni yangchik perna ngaso gongmo mar nyewi nekaps ta sangni ngamu ngarang chisu simba yana ngarang chisu jipa ga thola ngarang nit sago samni tindi samni yang da samni tini paranya sona tini sangni chisu jipa ga ta chisu jipa to korang sayung gres.
Or, for example, before we go to bed at night, if we think many times over in our minds that we need to wake up the following morning at 3 or 4 o'clock and think about this many times, then the following morning at 3 or 4 o'clock on the dot, we will be able to wake up. So this is a inherent capacity or power that the mind has.
Then shiwi kapsa yo chikparese then nga so shila niwi kapsa o ta pardu tendi shargrese then pardu ti sharyong kapsa then ngarang yenda manda then ngarang yakpo ngoshi go samni tendi yang the sam go re tendi samni shasona then pardu sharyong kapsa then pardu tambo ta nipa ta samba kangnala yana parang lamsang shindo res.
It's exactly the same at the point of death. If, as death approaches, we tell ourselves that the bardo states are soon to manifest and that we must recognize them as our minds when they do and think in this way over and over again, then when the bardo does indeed begin to manifest, then regardless of whether it's the first or the second or the third stage, we will be able to recognize these appearances as our minds.
Then shirdang azu musdang seyna then shiwi kapsa then azu sem ganala then rugpa tabtwa then tabtbzina dang azu rugpa maksarwa sem maksarwa then dondak mambozu jidwa or then yungres
Jidwa.
Jid.
Wang.
Oh yeah.
That's it. So when the time of death approaches, then people's minds change. They are not as they normally are, and they often forget, become very forgetful and cloudy. So for this reason, it is particularly important that there is someone there to help them at this time. So if at this time one's own lama is relatively close by, then we need to call for them at this point.
Lama yung ne korang la ko data ne korang pardu tindi yongore korang tindi sam gore korang tabdik tindi cheese zene korang par sama ko data gore.
And then the Lama comes and will remind the person who is dying that the bardo states are about to appear, and will tell them how they should think and how they should prepare and communicate with them about these things.
Tani Lama menana tani ngaso tele jamba ga tani ngaso chudok o tani nyamlin ya po yongken tani ziyena seyena ndukres.
If there isn't a Lama nearby, then a fellow Dharma practitioner, someone with good practice, can also serve this role.
Tani namjin ngaso mushwa mutini shiwi kapsate ngaso mambo gandishe go savani shiwi manduse.
In ordinary situation, when somebody dies, no one really knows what to do.
Tani mukashina sosoranga pamarawo tani yena shiwi kapsa tani tsama chakne tani par jundo nduguse.
And there are some people who, even when their own parents are dying, feel very scared and run away.
Te kashina semba dugni tani leka legoya tsama par jidni lakro nduguse.
And there are some people who feel so extremely sad that they completely cease being able to work and function. And all of these responses are due to not having made preparation for death. Regardless of whether it's someone else or one's own self, if at the time of death the mind becomes very anxious and perturbed, then as for the tasks that we need to do, we will forget them.
되니 티 값을 샘때를 헛보셔야 돼. 가르침 보래지.
So it's important at this time that we are able to maintain a mind that is relatively relaxed.
되니 뭐시 되니 다 시기 되니 다 추송 되니 임비 값을 되니 그런 거 리보데 양 되니 가서 다 잘르 지요래 되니 잡고 그래지. 되잖아 그런라 판톡 배 판톡 침보 요래지.
So when it is certain that someone is going to die, there is a bodily posture that can be adopted, which is of a lot of benefit.
되니 고 되니 샹쇼라 동고 그래서 샹쇼.
So the head of the person's body should be facing a northerly direction.
되니 락바 예쇼 되니 올라장네 되니 냐츠나라 되니 잡고 그래서.
And the right hand should be placed under the person's head as they lie on their side.
되니 가서 탤런트 담 바르마 되니 곰바가나라 되니 상기가 그 되니 명을 낸데 바되니 만본도와 사마시 통요지를 띵자고 그래서.
In Burma and Thailand, there are a lot of statues of reclining Buddhas, and this is the kind of posture that we need to adopt.
되니 가서 리보 예바 살아자고 그래. 예쇼 살아자고 그래서.
Salajokzina.
사돌라.
So we need to lie down on our right sides, or lie the dying person down on their right side.
되니 용바티니 강바마르 짱네 되니 락바 용바티니 강바가 돌란데 자고 그래서.
And the legs are outstretched, and the left hand is rested on the left thigh.
되니 락바 임바티니 응고 올라자는데 자고 그래서.
And the right palm is under the right cheek, supporting it.
되니 리보 된디잖아 테스치불라 되니 장들이 제와직 니 된디라 안송라 짜바는 로 말이지 잠바 찌찌메나.
So just the placing of the body in this posture is enough to prevent the person from passing to the lower realms.
되니 가서 람칼라 베나 되니 쪽짝 된디 총총다 되니 모자 잡니 되니 사자 바다오다 된디 요나 디 무마이나 쪽짝 잠바이나 된디 고샹라 거 되니 예쇼 되니 탕라장니 된디 장나 코술라 된디 잔자리 디 안송라 게 말이스.
And it's also this is also the same with small animals. If, for example, we hit a small animal on the road, then if we place its body in this same posture with its head facing north and lying on its side, then it also has the advantage of ensuring that it won't be born in the lower realms.
되니 티 값스 되니 가서 되니 다 더소 상마다링 샤송아 대소 다리 돈다고 지바데리지 디 양추티 돈다고 지바데리지.
So these points that I've covered so far are the first 4 of the 5 points. So placing the body on the side is the 5th point. So when we die, the consciousness departs or leaves the body through an aperture at the crown of the head, for example, during power practice. If one is experienced in power practice, then at this time one should do this practice. If we are assisting someone else at this time, and doing poa on behalf of them, then there are 3 conditions that need to be filled, 3 things that we need to be very careful about. The first of these really important points is that we need to have really sincere compassion for the person who is dying. If we lack this, then our assistance to them won't be of any benefit.
Tini nyangji yakbo yosona tini nga tsu mi tsangma ka sina mojan la pantok tab kores.
If we have compassion in our hearts, then regardless of who it is we're helping, it will be of great benefit.
Tini yindi nga tsu mi jala tini rokpa chiwi kapsa tini nyangji te pe karchimbo yamba tini shi gore, nyangji ki gores.
So it's extremely important that when we are helping another person at this time, that we arouse compassion in our minds.
Te tondak tangbo chakin tangbo res, chakin, 켜제.
So that is the first condition.
Tini nipa de karese nga tsu mi jala tini polong, poando na, tini poaga nana yupi muram, ta gum yapki teso, gum goya teso, saru gum gores, ngoni okwa ta tsangmak saru yakbo nga tsu semtokla ndini,
the second condition or the second point is that if we are reciting poa on behalf of the dying person, that we perform the visualizations and the stages of the meditation very clearly. It's of no benefit whatsoever if we are reciting the words of the poa liturgy, but in our minds we're giving rise to thoughts of all kinds. So it's extremely important that when we recite the poa, that we do so with great attention and focus to the different stages of the meditation, the sadhana. And that's the second condition. And then we come to the third condition. And this third condition is that we really need to have strong belief that in reciting poa for the dying person, that it will bring benefit to them. If, on the other hand, we think that, me reciting the poa for this person isn't going to bring them any benefit, I'm no good, etc., then this will result in no benefit at all. So when one's reciting the poa, then one shouldn't think, oh, I'm no good and this is not going to be of any benefit. Not only is it of no benefit to yourself, it's of no benefit to the person dying. One shouldn't think in this way because, in fact, it is not you who's benefiting the dying person, it's the poa who's benefiting them.
Yeah. Pena chorang ka lakla tini memda ziyona tini chorang lakpan githam na tini memda korang ka jab kare chonye digma digtan jigma jig tondak yaw mares.
It's like if you're holding a gun in your hand and fire it. In fact, whether you're a good or bad person, that's not the point. It's the gun that's firing the bullet.
Shedang poa korang la tini nipa ti yore. Rida chorang yi machini ta pantoko mari tini samna te korang nipa mepa rendo res.
So even though the power is contained in the poa practice, if you think that you are of no benefit whatsoever, then the practice becomes unbeneficial. So if when one's firing a gun, one does so with great confidence and attention, and one is able to fire it successfully. But if one thinks, oh, I can't fire a gun very well and just wave it around, then one won't be able to fire it very well at all.
어떤지 인디 차징 섬데 가서 미잔라 로바치 값스 차징 섬데 고그레 때 잡잡지 고그레스.
So these 3 points are very important when we are assisting another person. We must fulfill these 3 conditions.
저는 디 값스 때니 가서 어떠니 다 미티니 남시대 때니 kopni yar yoni shosig ni tin rogo re ti yimbi jimsen ki en nga cho mi gteni kangba da teni khokpa ga ma shokla lagpa ga rakhnya ga mare ti kaps ragna khorang ga sim tela shor ni tini mar yong ga res namshi.
Because when a person dies, we want the consciousness to leave the body through the top of the head. We shouldn't touch with our hands lower parts of the body beneath the waist.
Teni domba donken ga mo chama teni khorang ga ngo shokla de go res ngo shokla de go o shokla kamba shokla de nyang ga mares.
And those who are surrounding the dying person, reciting prayers, it's important that they stand near the head of the dying person and not around their feet.
Teni jati teni go shokla ti shokla chakna teni ga chu sem tela yar tak res sem yar tak res.
Ja thangna.
Ja chakna.
Oh, ja chakna.
Domba donken so jati teni tang shokla nga so go shokla chakna korang sem tela yar tat jore.
Because if the sound of the recitation is heard, it takes place or is emitted around the head of the dying person, then the consciousness is likely to leave the body through the top of the head.
Teni ti kapsa teni ta korang ka kangba ga teni shokla deni kapda chi andrao ta kadjawe andrao to so chawa ni shinyang ga mares.
So at this time, it's people should not stand near the feet of the person speaking or making loud noises.
Teni ti kapsa teni musti mutela samlo tana ti kapsa tondak chongchong ko korang la shikjin chimbo teb kres.
So at this point, even extremely small things can make a big influence on the dying person.
Teni inte nga so pe zabzab shi go kres.
So it's important that we're extremely careful about what we do.
Teni ti kapsa teni nga so ta ta chala ti chen thing go si chala thinni tela yana ngolan di te ragna teni korang ga sim yar te yar sim tat yung kres ngola rag go kres yana chala ti chen thing go kres.
At this time, we should also gently tug on the hair at the crown of the head or just rub that place on the top of the head.
Just one. Oh yeah. Teni yang ato bok nala teni tinala teni yang di shosla teni zi teni shigya yores shigya shigze.
Oh, let's see. In Tibet, there is a substance that we have that is rubbed on the crown of the head at this point.
Teni te zedi shirezina tinala chilga chabarezina tinala do kablin yorezi do kablin go shema do kablin kongda
Do kablin zna?
Tsie zina ko.
Oh, let's see. So this substance is made from ground magnetic rock.
Teni jangzi zina nga su shetang namjin zadya de mare tinala jangma tindi shepcha kwazi gore khorang go jangzi res tin nyam de si yores.
And it's mixed with a special kind of honey, not the normal kind of honey that we eat, but the honey from a special bee.
Te changmalan tenshik yores tenshik yin li ze jagzi.
These all have a kind of attracting or magnetizing effect.
Ti jangzi de la tin din pandukse.
The honey also has this effect.
Ta tindi ge ze kashi nyam de le tindi leji yores tindi le yores te lama sola yores te.
So this substance that's made up of several things is made by lamas.
Teni mi janla pulung puan demken ga lama so kosu tabdik ji yores te.
Which is the Paul Munkin, let's say.
Mo janla puan demken ga lama so teni kosu namjin kosu tabdik ji yores te.
And lamas who recite pua on behalf of dying people generally have this substance prepared.
Tini ti sang ke nalan ti lam gola shigna tini yang yaran tin ya da won tin shik ti yong gu dus.
And rubbing this on the crown of the head has the effect of pulling up the consciousness to or through the top of the head.
Tini tesuri tini tezen tinan gola teza ragni tini rag teza ragna ti panto yore korang ga sim tini yar ta gres.
And rubbing this place on the top of the head also has some benefit in making the consciousness likely to leave through the top of the head.
Tini dombandoni polongdoni tindipshi go resti kaps.
And at this point we do recitation, recite the pua.
Tini soso rang rangla tini rokpa chena ta nga so karte soso rang tini shiwa tindi taw kab yinna. Tini ti kaps kandishi go resina tini nga so ngosola tini ngombo oho me tini nga so soso rang ka chawi lama gom go res soso ngo thola.
And if it is oneself who is dying, then at this point we should visualize Amitabha or our own root lama at the crown of our head.
Tini soso rang ka tini semte tini yige yana boyi ka yana tini lagir ka tini ta sanskrit tini karbo tini zula samni tini yan samni tini na de koba na yaran jone tini de changni thoni tini ngombo oho me ka thkala tini par thamsong samne tini sam goes.
And we should visualize at our hearts an syllable, a Tibetan or a Sanskrit and then visualize it rising up through the top of our heads and finally dissolving into the heart of Amitabha.
Teni chat masong ko parta tindi yana yang de sam go res.
And before we cease our final breath, we should visualize this over and over.
Teni nga so bola tamji su she ki ores nga ma logi su she ki ores.
And I've got a story from Tibet to share with you.
Teni lama chigla teni korang trapa chungchung zu yore korang lama zu ta teni trapa chungchung zu ni teni nyam de yores.
There was a lama who lived together with a small monk.
Teni lama ti zeni teni ta nga shyen teni trapa te la teni kyora nga trapdik chi teni nga ndi chi teni de go re teni kyora nga la yar gomba te so korang ga teni chugu gerong so konya teni serbo teni nge thola teni kon ya po chi jok teni kyora parson teni nga shyen ze teni labdus.
And the Lama said to the young monk, I'm going to die. He told him he was going to die and instructed the young monk to lie him on his side and how to do this, and told him to dress him in his monk's robes, and then told him to leave the room.
Teni traba chongchong ti gorsa landung ni tangi lama shinto sansare samni nini ti gorsa ti deores.
And the young monk, thinking that his lama was going to die, was stood outside the door crying and crying.
Teni lama gom jamni tenti yang rambola tenti ndung dus.
And the lama, lying on his side, meditated for a long time.
Teni lama yer lang ni teni ta parsu lama shimduk zi teni lama ga tapa lambod ni ta chas ku zama le shok teni zinduk zi.
But after a while, he realized that he wasn't going to die and sat up and called for the monk outside to put the tea on for the boil and cook him a meal. So he wasn't going to die. So in fact, his time to die had not yet arrived. He had been mistaken. We need to be careful about this too. If we give away all our house and money and everything else, then might be in a bit of strife. So we need to judge very carefully whether or not the time of death has arrived.
Teni nguni teni shiwi 디소코 돌라 힙소나는 딘디시나 데니 응니 장네 데니 다티 토니야르 코랑 데 포아가 데니 로탑 그레스 타르바 톱로 그레스.
However, if really and truly the time of death has arrived, then we need to act carefully, and it is possible through our power practice to attain liberation. So that is the fifth point. Whether it's oneself or it is someone else, paying careful attention to these 5 points, this is enough, or this is good at the time of death.
Tani teso tsama tani nga tso tani ju namjing ka tani to ta shiwa tani gendun tar ta gengtan tar ta shiwa re tani te mayim ba pe na drishin rawo tani ga pe na moda dab jagwan rawo ya na tani nga tso tok jamni tani sa jagwan rawo tani ga lower yo re tani te la yang tapshi jamba go res.
Of course, these 5 points are in relation to a normal death, an ordinary death. Abnormal deaths, such as a death in an accident, a car accident, or whatever, these need different approaches.
Tini te nga tso namjin per na tini to tok jabi ne ka yang na ra yang na nga tso tini ta tondak tini susu sem ka na la chanang yong wa tini ka tondak kang dang kang lam chad na ti kap sa nga tso lamsang shipa yar tini laba kila yar tini sim yar tat go re tini ga jondr che go res.
In events such as being struck by lightning or other events like this, when of accidental or sudden death, it's really important that we train so that the consciousness orients itself to leaving through the top of our head.
Perna nga so tini all over the tini njigda chimbo tani tini tok jabna nga so muson tini chini tang ro ndo was.
So our usual familiar response would be if thunder struck and lightning struck our head to give rise to fear, to respond with fear.
Teti langsang tini ti kapsa tini shipa yar tini soso tini shostigla yar tini sim yar tat go ndo sim.
It's important at this point, though, for us to immediately seek to project the consciousness to the top of our head.
So
it's important that we especially do practice for this eventuality. If we practice in this way over and over, then if we encounter any kind of fearful or terrifying situation, then automatically we will be able to project our consciousness to the top of our head. If our consciousness leaves the top of our head in this way, then at least for the next few lives we will not be reborn in the hell realms. In the lower realms, sorry.
Oh yeah.
However, if we really want to attain true liberation, then we need to have a more comprehensive practice. It's not just as easy as this. When people die, some people's consciousness leaves their body through the tops of their head. For other people, it's through the bottoms of their feet. For others, through their heart.
냥칼라 다롱 때지 좀보리 때나 드니 파란 로요 있다 그래서 남시 타마 드니 와서 리포다 캡처 그 요레 있다 그래서
if a person's consciousness left their body via or from their heart, then a sign of this is that after the body becomes cold, the space around their heart chakra is still warm. This is a sign that their consciousness has left their body at this spot.
드니 가시스 드니 남시드니 드니 야른 로운드 드니 라 슈스글라 드니 리포 잠바 참마티니 정모 착사위 지스티니 슈스글라 다론 사보레즈 조테지 요레 데나 드니 야른 로요레
And for those people whose consciousness leaves their body through the crown of their head, then when the rest of their body has become cold after death and there's just a bit of warmth or heat around the crown of the head, this is a sign that their consciousness has left their body from this spot.
땡아서 따르다 자톡라 자와가 톡라 드니 짐처 거드니 못다야다 드니 지 못다야 딘딘도가 때 교수 하고 요새 못다게 못데게
These days on the internet there are diviners online. I don't know if anyone has seen them. This is scientific divination. And very soon science will no doubt be able to tell us whether a person has gone to the hell realms or whether they've gone to the realms of the gods. The reason for this is that X-rays, X-ray light enables people to tell which parts of the body are hot and which parts of the body are cold, and and warm parts of the body turn red or appear as red. So by looking at the dead body through an X-ray, it is possible to see if there is some red light around the top of their head, that their consciousness has left the body at this part. And so it would be possible then for in seeing that the top of the head was a bit red and warm, that the person had been reborn in the realm of the gods, or if the space around the heart was red and warm, that they had been reborn in the human realm.
남시티니 가르틴 로나 디니 야른 로나 티니 무니 트라네 세럽 가실랑 안송란도 고 마레티니 때양 타르와 톱제나 때롱테즈 카보레다 나초 무스당세 나드니 시차리 지니 안송라 만로나 드니 양 칼레칼리 냥닌지나 양 디수 고르비오레테 카르침보레스.
So in terms of practice, if the consciousness is able to leave a person's body through the crown of their head, then it is really the case that for at least the next few lifetimes that they won't be born in the lower realms. So even though attaining liberation is a bit of a taller order, at least in not being reborn in the lower realms, the being in question will have more opportunities for practice and more opportunities to continue with their practice. So this is a broad brushstrokes overview of these 5 points of preparation. However, if we really want to practice sincerely in the dying process, then as I said before, it's important that we firstly receive the appropriate empowerment.
Tani nyamlin teso tarong terang ngaso tini tab debo shini shabari tarong jibmu shini tan dindin goreze jibcha dindi yori teso lojong yang poche gondus.
And as for the practices that we then need to need to engage in, there are many details, and all of these we need to study properly.
Tani tiola tani gom gyabne tani jondr che gore.
And then after having learned the details of the practice methods in question, we actually need to meditate to practice them.
Tindi shina tani ngone tane ngaso tani shivi kapsita njiktak chikme o tani gabjin trojen tani gapo shini o ta ngarang chewa lepsong ta ngarang kan chewa te yakbo zu che go ngarang chewa ndala tinni ta ngarang yakbo zu tani yargi tanggo ngaso ngarang susu tani tarwa toggo samji tindi go tani gambo ta trobo gone tani rochokores.
And by doing this, when we arrive at our own deaths, then we need not give rise to fear. We can die in a happy and joyful way, thinking, "Oh, now my death has arrived, and I'm going to make use of this death to improve myself, to attain liberation." And in this way, it's possible to die in a happy way.
Ya tati ngaso terang go tani chatati shatsarso.
So that brings to a close our teaching for this afternoon.
Tani tsangma pe yakbo nyansong tuji chejins.
And thank you everyone for listening so well.
Tani ti jila ngaso tsangma ga tani ngowa molum yakbo chejins.
So we are going to end now with the dedication of merit.
Sonum de ye damja zomba nya domne ni be dandam baje. Tiga nanje walong de ba. Tabim zolin doa dorjo. Oma ahom benzar gere bamba sadahom. Oma ahom benzar gere bamba sadahom. Oma ahom benzar gere bamba sadahom.